on you guys, or how much did Oregon maybe disrupt you guys into some of those turnovers?
Maybe a little bit of both. I think mostly us, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Oregon because they're long, athletic. They get places very quickly. They do a good job in their zone of talking and communicating and bumping off. But you talk about staying away from the sidelines, and that's pretty much where we lived in the second quarter, on the sidelines, and we kind of played right into their hands of. And then just like you think about like the unforced turnovers where we just kind of dribbled it and off of our foot, or we're trying to make a pass to each other and the ball goes out of bounds. I don't think that's anything Oregon did. I think that's a lot on us.
Down 9-0 to start the game.
Yeah.
Then the 9-0 run at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
You've preached better starts. You got back into it, but then it got away from you the first half.
Yeah.
When those two stretches, is that the game in your opinion?
Yeah, no doubt. I think the second quarter really, 22-10, you win the rest of the, tie the first quarter, and then you win the second half. With 22-12 in the second quarter. But at halftime they had 19 points. 19 of their 39 points were off of our turnovers. Finished with 31 off of our turnovers. Thought if we gave ourselves a chance of trying to keep the ball in the half court and allowing our defense to get set, we'd give ourselves a chance, and we didn't do that very well tonight.
Sunday's now a must-win.
Must-win, yeah.
How do you get this team to embrace that with everything that you want to accomplish is on the line on Sunday?
Yeah, just be a competitor. The choices you make tonight, tomorrow, our prep has to be elite Friday, Saturday. We're going to go into a place where they're celebrating, a legend in our game. Joe is as good as it gets on the floor, off the floor, as a coach, as a man, and everything he's done for our game. They're going to celebrate him. They really got nothing to lose, right? Just to go out there and play and compete as hard as they can, and we've got to go and we've got to figure out how to be better on the road. We got to bottle up when we went to Wisconsin and compete like that on the road. Got to take some of our good moments here against Oregon, some of our good moments against Iowa, and that starts with prep. It starts with our day off tomorrow in terms of taking care of our bodies, getting in there and getting treatment because we are thin and on the bench, and making sure our bodies are in the best spot. If you're any type of competitor, you're going to do all the right things to set you up for success on Sunday.
I guess this may not be the right way to ask this question, but maybe how do you turn tonight's loss into a positive in terms of you are at least still in the fight to get to the Big Ten tournament?
Yeah. Ask me tomorrow. The season isn't over, right? Like, we've got an opportunity on Sunday. You win and you keep playing, and Sunday starts our postseason play, right? Once you lose, you're done, and we've got to find a way to come in Sunday ready to go from the get-go. Can't give Northwestern any kind of daylight from the go. Can't let their crowd get into it. Can't let they've got some kids who can. Caroline Lau is as good as any point guard in our league. Grace Sullivan is elite scoring the basketball. They've got some kids who can shoot it, and we've got to be elite. And we. Like I said, if you're any type of competitor, it's win or go home, and it doesn't. Our tournament starts Sunday.
Seems like you had a very intentional about getting Lana the ball. She had a lot of success down low in the post on the offensive end. Just how can you build on that moving forward as well?
Yeah, I think that's something we've always tried to do. To try to pound the ball into Lana and KP and Ave, and Lana was just having some success down there. Even when they did double her, I thought she was reading it pretty well. At Maryland, our guards didn't do a good job of firing it into our post, and our post didn't do a good job showing our numbers. So we were pretty intentional working on that over the last couple of days. And obviously with their length on the perimeter, we thought if we could pound it inside, we might be able to get them out of that zone. And Lana did a good job of reading and taking advantage of it. And then, I thought we had some opportunities on the outside on some kickouts. I thought Naya had some clean looks, Kiki had some clean looks, and then Nila had some looks that where Lana and KP made the right plays, they didn't go down on the outside for us.
Coach, I know you've probably been asked about Madison a few hundred times at this point, but
Tired talking about it.
How impactful is it for the rest of the team to be able to play alongside and get experience with someone like her?
Yeah, she's just her basketball IQ. Obviously coach's daughter, both Jeff and Kathy played college basketball and obviously coached Madison the right way growing up. She just understands the game. It's easy to say one thing for her and one thing to her and her to be able to get it to everybody. And, we've been trying to work on that over the last few games of, how do we, go from a timeout onto the court and Madison isn't out there to direct everybody to remind them where to go. And I think, we've missed her in that regard more so than her points and her vision on and what she does on the defensive end. It's her ability to kind of get everybody in the right spots just because she's so high IQ.
Coach, who was someone that stood out in the locker room, who offered maybe a voice of reason that you're going to really lean on for some leadership, going into Sunday?
Yeah, I think we've got a disappointed group right now. But I think if you ask them, they want to keep playing. They want to extend the season as long as they can. And I think Naya did a good job of stepping up, and she's been incredible on the court, and really growing into kind of a leadership role since Madison has been out. But we just continue to lead on. I mean, this is a collective group. It's got to be a collective group, and it's been like that all year. Obviously, Madison has taken the reins a couple times in certain situations, but collectively, we've got to find a way to get it done together.
What can Naya just do? Is it a matter of her, or Tara do? Is it a matter of her slowing down? 7 turnovers. I mean, she's aggressive, but
yeah, I think today we just once we got her into the middle of the press and kind of off the ball a little bit and let her, and so she didn't have to just dribble the ball up the court, but just making sure I've got to do a better job of making sure I'm putting her in better spots to have success. I've got to find a way to set her up for success.
We mentioned Lana and just how good she looked offensively at times, but what adjustments does she have to make defensively to keep herself in the game and not get some of the touch fouls she was getting in and around the post?
Yeah, Lana. I mean, she's banging against she's always down there banging, and I think outside of a couple calls going that they maybe you let them go, maybe they don't. It's thankfully I never had to play the post, but I know when you're getting banged up, and you're trying to stay straight up in the air, and somebody throws their body into you, it's kind of human reaction sometimes but just staying disciplined through it and trying to stay vertical and not get into their space. Give Atutse some credit there. She's a powerful force down there and did a good job of getting to the free throw line.
Moving forward as you reach Sunday, what are some things you're going to look for in this practice that's going to really have that this team's going to be ready to play on Sunday?
Yeah, I think I know this team well enough that as soon as they walk down the tunnel or open the doors of the Cardinal or we walk into film, I'll know by the look in their eyes if they're ready to go. I got a good feel on this team, and I have a feeling that this team is going to show up on Friday.